Приветствуем всех. О, и снова нам предлагают немножко распределить ресурсы. Так, ну тут для начала осмотримся. Так, хорошо. Заодно еще такие взяли навыки. Так что теперь у нас есть клинок в другой руке. Уж не знаю, сильно ли это поможет или нет. Ох, такая великан. Ничего себе. Ладно, по всей видимости. Хотя нет, мы сейчас едва-едва царапаем. Ну... Поднимается. Оу. Отвлеклись. Это как? Фу. Правда, надеялся, что Орел нам таки поможет, но, видимо, не в этот раз. Так, на всякий случай осмотримся. Традиция. Увы. Ладно.
It is finished. My people are avenged.
And behold, here come your kin.
My lord.
It would appear that you have done our work for us, Belaram.
Not I, Lord Gwahir. Your thanks belong to these three. Andriel, Farin, and Aradan. It is they who rid us of Baghrasar.
The same three that saved you at Fornost.
Indeed. A remarkable chance that we should meet again.
If chance it was, your fates seem strangely intertwined. But be that as it may, we are doubly grateful to you. First for saving the life of Balaram, and now for slaying the giant.
We are glad your fallen kin have been avenged. Bargrassar was a threat to all free folk. It is only fitting we should join together to destroy him.
Well spoken. But I wonder what purpose you had for coming to the Ettenmoors. This is no place for idle wandering.
My master, Elrond Half-Elven, suspected the enemy might be gathering here. It was he who sent us to investigate.
He also thought we might find a servant of the enemy here. A man by the name of Agandaur.
Balaram has told us of that one, but I fear you have come too late. We have searched the Ettenmoors thoroughly in our hunt for Bargrassar, yet we have seen no sign of this servant of the Dark Lord. If he was here, we can be reasonably certain he is here no longer. My people will work to disperse the enemy forces that remain in the moors. We will be on guard against the return of Agandaur.
Then we'd best head back to Ривенделл. Elrond will be wondering about us. We've already been gone too long.
I will arrange for a messenger.
My lord, I owe my life to these three, and I too believe Agandaur to be a grave threat to the free peoples of the North, Eagles no less so than any other. If you would grant me leave, I wish to accompany them and aid them in their quest.
You ask a great deal, Balaram. I may have need for all my followers soon. Yet I perceive a great destiny awaits these three, and it seems you are now part of it. Very well. I will grant you permission to join with them for as long as you see fit.
Unless Balaram plans to carry his friends like sheep in his talons, he will need help. If it pleases you, my lord, I will gladly accompany them as well.
I too have a stake in this quest. Let me be the third.
So be it. 3 who cleave the air to match 3 who walk the earth. May fortune favor you all. Armenel, Baranthor, you shall be at Balaram's command. Obey his word until such time as you return to us. Now I must depart. Many forces are at work across Middle-earth, and many events take shape. I must consider what part the Eagles will play in them.
We are most grateful for your aid and trust, Lord Gwaihir. Farewell.
You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Ettenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of 3 of the Great Eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we feared, and they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He had made attacks against Gwaihir's people.
But with the Eagle Balaram's help, we managed to put an end to him.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We found these tokens on some of the slain.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agandaur.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
What can you tell us of Mount Gundabad?
It is a great peak that stands far to the north, at the meeting point of the Misty Mountains and the Grey Mountains. Once, Gundabad was a delving of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago. It has since become a stronghold of the orcs. It would be hard-pressed to find a more dangerous location in all the north.
Could it be that Agandaur is there, at Gundabad?
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holes of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so, yet we have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Maybe not, but it's not like we have many more choices, other than to sit waiting for Agandaur to strike first.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly. but you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
Let it be so. We travel to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell, and may the stars shine upon your path.
Так, прекрасно. Теперь надо поговорить, насколько помню, с гномом, с леди Арвен. Так, эти ребята все еще здесь. Надо будет заглянуть к кузнецу, после того, как мы заглянем к торговцу. Так, нам, кажется, хотели с ним поговорить относительно камушков.
Good to see you again, Andriel. What can I do for you?
I have collected these gemstones for the smith Angmir, but if he is to make use of them, they must be of the highest quality. He wishes for your appraisal.
My pleasure. I always enjoy handling fine gems. Oh, yes. These are excellent stones. See here, the depth of color. The way they seem to shine with an inner light. In fact, I've a fancy to buy them from you. I never tire of collecting such stones, and I've plenty of coin in my purse. How is the weight of your own purse these days?
I would not wish to insult Angmir by failing to return with the gems, but thank you all the same.
Ah, well, fair enough. But the offer stands if you change your mind.
Немножко забавно звучит, учитывая, что обычные камушки, которые мы продаем, где-то по 500 монет уходят.
Welcome. I'm curious about those gemstones we spoke of. Does Glowin confirm their quality?
He has. Here they are.
Ah, excellent. I will put these to good use. And since you have provided me with the materials I need to fashion more elf stones, I would be pleased if you would accept some of my already finished work. Take whichever suits you best.
Так, хорошо, но теперь нам надо еще отремонтироваться.
Hello again. What can I help you with?
Так, это не ремонтируется. Вот только их приобрели, а он уже сломанный. Так. Упс, не туда. Хорошо. Пока что как-то так. Так, и у нас еще осталось поговорить. О, Арл действительно здесь.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Are you kin to Belleron?
No, but he has always guided me. Balaram taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He's shown me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Balaram leads, I will follow.
Are you one of the eagles who came to Bilbo's aid in his quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, and later fought in the Battle of 5 Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
What do you know of Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards, driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind.
Так, хорошо. Ага, только сказать, где-то еще орлы прячутся. А как это мы их не заметили, когда бежали?
I am grateful to you, Lore Master. Even our high areas were threatened by the giant Bargrasar. You have my thanks.
What can you tell me of your leader, Gwaihir?
Gwaihir is the Lord of the Eagles. He can outfly the North Wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of Eagle Lords, soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss.
Were you one of the Eagles that took part in the Battle of Five Armies?
So I was. When the Allied armies found themselves set upon by goblins who had stealthily scaled the mountain slopes, I was among those who set upon the enemy and cast them from the cliffs to perish.
Are you ready for a long flight to Mount Gundabad?
We are strong and rested. Belaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
Что ж, будем знать. Хотя, может, с теми ребятками таки стоит поговорить.
Gundabad awaits us.
I thought it a rare thing that you offered your aid to us, and hardly expected 2 more Eagles to do the same. What can you tell me of them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baron Thor is young, and eager to prove himself. But he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
Ну да, мы с ними поговорим.
I will confess, I was surprised that Gwaihir gave you leave to come with us. He rarely intervenes in the affairs of those who walk upon the ground.
It is true, Gwaihir thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information, not burdens. Even now, the Wind Lord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the events that lie before us, though there may be little time left to ponder such things.
We would not wish to cause strife between the Wind Lord and you, yet it seems you disagree with his view.
I have served Gwaihir loyally for a long time, and he, in turn, has the wisdom to trust my judgment. He knows that I have chosen the wind I must fly upon, and my choice is this. I can no longer stand apart. I must act. Even an eagle must rest upon an area that has its roots in the earth. We cannot entirely escape the ground, and the fate of elves, men, dwarves, and even hobbits will ultimately be our fate.
What should we expect when we reach Mount Gundabad?
I can tell you little. The stronghold of Gundabad is carved into a great mountain peak covered in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and blizzards that howl from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode of enemies, and we must approach it with the greatest caution.
Perhaps Gundabad is an impossible task.
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve you. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes, or you will stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine. I have seen you 3 triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
I will bear that in mind. Farewell. Andriel, it is good to see you safely returned to Imladris. I am well pleased to say we outwitted our enemies and returned with the items you sought from the Etenmoors. Thank you. You have brought these in good time, for we have made barely enough Miraval for present need, and now there is none to spare. With these supplies, I can replace what has been given away, and as I promised, I have kept aside a flask for you. Miraval is potent. Thus, I would advise you to keep this against a time when you're sorely hurt, and your strength of will falters. Drink of it then, and you will be restored. Thank you, lady. I shall put this to good use. I have seen you in many moods, Lady Arwen, and I sense that something is troubling you. How may I help? You have done much already, but I will lay my problem before you. For many years, I have worked secretly upon a banner for Estelle, for Aragorn. It is my hope he will bear it triumphantly into Gondor, and the time is right for him to reclaim his heritage. This must be a banner like no other, and must endure for the ages. To that end, I am using the most precious of metals, mithril. Our most skilled smith, Angmir, has drawn mithril into thread for me. The embroidery is nearly done, but as careful as I have been, I fear what I have may not be enough to complete the design. I have heard of no place where mithril can be found save in the distant and forbidding mines of Moria. Is there another way to find it? It is true. There is nowhere in Middle-earth where mithril might still be mined other than Moria. Yet in ages past, quantities of this precious metal made their way by trade and gift to many other places in the world. Yes, and the orcs also value it. They were long in possession of Moria. No doubt some quantity of mithril has passed forth into the world through their foul hands. Still, it seems there is little hope that more mithril can be found in so short a time. What exists in the world is likely considered too precious to part with. Tell me about this banner. Why is it so important to you? It bears the symbols of Ривенделл, from whom Aragorn is descended. I have embroidered upon black cloth the high crown of the kings of Numenor, and 7 stars in which I have set brilliant jewels. Below them is the White Tree of Gondor, the symbol of Aragorn's claim to the throne of that realm and all the lands of the Dunedain. With this banner go all my hopes. My hope for Estelle to help overthrow the enemy and become king, and for our long pledge of love to be fulfilled. Either our hope will come, or all hope will be lost. These things I have pondered during the many hours I have labored over this banner. There is hope in every thread, and no few tears as well. It seems my fate to travel far and frequently, and what cannot be obtained in peace may sometimes be seized as spoils of war. Should I find mithril in my forays against the enemy, it will be yours. That is a noble offer. I would not ask you to go into such danger for this alone, for it may yet prove that I already have all that I require. Still, it would ease my mind, and I would see that you were well rewarded for your courage and generosity. May Elbereth watch over you and keep you safe.
Даже с трудом представляю, как же кузнец сделал нити. Так, ну что ж. Со всеми переговорили, хотя может нам что-то... серьезно? Нельзя перешагнуть. Многоуважаемый Бильбо, не сказать вам чего нового?
Welcome home, Andriel. I saw you arrive, and I must say it made for a fine sight. We have something in common now, my friend. We are among the few who can claim to have ridden on the back of an eagle, although I'm sure you enjoyed your journey more than I. Truthfully, I found the whole experience rather terrifying.
Perhaps you wish to tell me again about your adventures with the great eagles. I know you never tire of telling the story.
Oh, well, it's a long story, really. There we were, 13 dwarves, 1 wizard, and 1 rather frightened hobbit, perched in the treetops, trying to hide from an army of wolves and goblins. They sniffed us out soon enough and set fire to the trees. It would have been the end of us all right there, had the King of the Eagles not led his people to our rescue. I was grateful to be saved, of course, but to this day I still feel a bit dizzy whenever I think about that wild flight.
For my part, I have never experienced anything to match the thrill of soaring among the clouds. I am eager to take to the air again.
I suppose that shouldn't surprise me, coming from one brave enough to fight with giants. Oh yes, I've heard all about your adventures in the Eton Moors. Everyone in Ривенделл is talking about it. I've seen stone giants with my own eyes. It's beyond me how you managed to get the better of one.
You contended with giants?
Well, contended is not the right word. It was more like trying my best not to be accidentally trod upon. Frankly, I'm surprised a giant would make war upon us in this way. The ones I encountered seemed caught up in their own affairs and not the least bit concerned with me or my companions.
In this we see the hand of Agendaur. I'm certain it was he who corrupted the giant.
Agendaur again. Oh, I don't like hearing about that one. Especially when I think about places like Bree or the Shire. It seems like there is so little to stand in his way.
Yes, the North once held mighty realms of elves and men, but that strength is no more. We cannot hope to raise great armies. Therefore, our best hope lies in striking down Agendaur himself.
I believe you will find a way to do that, my friend. You have certainly made a good start by thwarting his plans at Fornost and the Etten Moors. You know, someone should be setting down this story of yours. It's certainly worthy of being remembered. I do have my own book to finish, but perhaps when that's done. Maybe you should give me an account of your adventures. I'll take notes, and one day I can write your story. What do you say to that?
It would be an honor to have our story recorded by so worthy a chronicler.
Very well, then. Why don't you start at the beginning?
It began some weeks past at the Sarn Ford. And so, with the giant dead and the great eagles joining our cause, we returned here to Ривенделл to inform Elrond of all we had learned.
Outstanding! What a riveting tale! There is enough there to fill a volume or two already. I just hope I managed to get it all straight. I tried to take good notes. You really must come back later to let me know how it's progressing.
Who could say no to such an appreciative audience? Now I really should be on my way. Farewell, Bilbo.
Ну что ж. И раз уж у нас был новый диалог с Бильбо. О, то есть мы еще не раз с ним должны будем поговорить? Интересно.
Andriel, it is good to see you once again. We were beginning to be concerned for you and your companions. And yet you return victorious, upon the backs of eagles no less. We are grateful to you for ending the threat of Bargrassar. The giant might have done great harm but for you. The trolls and orcs of the Etten Moors will be dismayed by his fall. They will be slow to march against us now.
Yet Agendaur is still free to work his evil. We must destroy him as well.
I am glad you are so eager to come to grips with the enemy. Yet do not abandon caution completely. You will find few places in the north more perilous than Mount Gundabad. I only wish we were free to accompany you.
You were among those sent out as scouts as well. What did you discover?
Our road led us across the Misty Mountains and into Ravanion. We found wargs gathering in the wild, but as of yet there were no signs they had crossed the mountains. There were fewer orcs than we would have expected in the mountains. Strange, we deemed it. We suspect they may be massing somewhere else. But where and for what purpose, we cannot say.
Perhaps they gather under Agendaur's banner. We must find him and put an end to this threat.
I am glad you are so eager to come to grips with the enemy. Yet do not abandon caution complete. I only wish we were free to accompany you.
The sons of Elrond would be a great help to us, but I believe you are also needed here at home.
Alas, our father has made it clear we are to remain close at hand as long as Imladris is threatened. Such is our duty, and we will abide by it. Otherwise, we would have sought leave to accompany Aragorn on his quest.
But you have fought to defend these lands for so long. Why would you now choose to fight in the southern realms?
For many reasons, not least of which is the friendship we bear for Aragorn. We have shared many hardships and perils together, as we did with his forefathers before him. We would stand with him when he achieves the quest for which so many generations of the Dunedain have striven. And so too would we be there with him at the bitter end, should all our hopes fail.
Perhaps you should follow the urgings of your heart and ride south.
We cannot think only of ourselves. We have a duty to our father and our kin. And what use would it be for Aragorn to gain the realm of Gondor, only to find the lands of Arnor reduced to ruin and ash behind him?
The North will not fall into darkness, not while life remains to me.
It heartens me to hear you say so. If you and your companions continue as you have begun, we truly have little to fear. Indeed. With you harrying the enemy across the whole of the North, the two of us will soon be on the road south.
I hope it will be so. Farewell, friends.
Ну что ж, а сейчас уже направимся на назначенную гору. Но на этом, полагаю, пока что все.